Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next lesson in the upper intermediate course. We've got some great stuff, modal or auxiliary verbs we're going to talk about, compound adjectives, obviously some pronunciation and how the intonation or the rhythm of a sentence is, especially short ones. And we've got a bonus that begins this lesson. Now, we're not focusing on the reading part, but I want to draw your attention to the first section on reading. Again, normally we're not doing these. And in fact, it's not an assignment. It's purely optional. But this reading is quite interesting. If you like mysteries, although this has some murderous elements to it. It's the mystery of the lighthouse keepers. This is optional. I just want to go through a few words or vocabulary words in this short article. Again, it's optional. The short story of this is three men, these men pictured here in the photo right here, they were dropped off in 1900, 123 years ago, on a remote Scottish island to sort of keep things going. They were three workers assigned to the island. They came back 3 months because there are 3-month shifts. So 3 people go for 3 months and they come back. They came back to pick them up and they were all gone, all missing. And we've never learned what happened. There is a lot of speculation. Here's a word, speculation. Speculation is, you give an opinion, but you don't have evidence for it. So you're speculating. This might have happened or this might have happened, but you don't have proof. There's no evidence. So this is called speculating or speculation. One of the greatest puzzles, we would call these mysteries as well, puzzles or mysteries. And another thing we have here is a chain of islands. So if you've got a series of islands, this is a chain of islands. And if it's a remote island, that means it's very far away. Remember, some of us work remotely. We work remotely. We work from home, far from work. Some of us very close to work. We don't go in, we still work remotely. All right, great story. We're going to go down immediately to the auxiliary verbs. Number 2, talk in small groups. I love this question. We might use these in some of our discussions. This is really interesting. Have you ever seen a UFO? What's your view of UFOs? Do you know what a UFO is? It's an unidentified flying object. UFO, but that's not what we say. We say UFO. It's something in the air that you can't recognize. And so you think maybe it's from another planet. Aliens have come to learn English. Hopefully they take my course if they do. Anyway, let's continue. Reacting to a story about something strange, here's how to do it in this box right below. When somebody talks about something very strange, like the Lighthouse story, you can say, how bizarre. What a weird story. What a story. That's so strange. So you've got a few variations, combinations. That's strange, that's bizarre, that's odd. How strange, how bizarre, how odd, or what a weird story, what a bizarre story, actually, what an odd story. You can use all of these. And you start to learn new expressions of surprise or bewilderment. Bewilderment means surprise. Let me spell that for you. That is a really big word. Bewilderment. Bewilderment means confused. If you're bewildered, you're confused. All right. I hope you're not bewildered in this class for very long, because that means I'm not doing my job. So if you are bewildered or confused, ask a speaking partner or write me. All right, now you're going to go down and answer the questions here, do, did, is, was, etc. And then you're going to get some affirmation or confirmation of your answers in the listening or audio file. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, listen and check. And then you can then start to understand the various ways we emphasize. So it can be to add emphasis, to say that you are different, to check information, to show surprise, to say that you are the same. So we have 5 very common ways that we use these short auxiliary expressions. And we're going to practice them right now in the grammar bank. Now, I suppose I thought about whether I should do it or let you do it. I think I should let you do it, and I think you'll remember them longer. Of course, we're going to talk about these during the live, so you're going to get this repetition. You're going to hear this once again from me. All right, let's go straight to it. Auxiliary verbs. Some of you are probably asking, Professor, what is an auxiliary verb? I'm going to tell you. I'm glad you asked, because here it is. I'm reading your mind. I can tell what you want to know. So here we go. Let's go all the way to the top. Make it big. An auxiliary verb is a help. We also say helping verb are used together with the main verb in a sentence to create different tenses, moods, voices, aspects. So here are the primary auxiliary verbs, the ones we're going to be looking at. Be, is eating, was dancing, is love. The is and was are the auxiliary verbs. Have seen, had eaten, auxiliary verbs. Did not like, did like, do you like. These are all auxiliary verbs. Now, there are also modal auxiliary verbs. We're only going to look at one today in the exercise. There'll be can, the word can. These are a subtype of auxiliary verbs that express necessity, possibility, permission, other things. Can I go? Could you do this? May I do that? Should I study English today? Yes, you should. Will I study English today? That's a different question. Would you like some coffee? Or do you prefer tea? You must attend the lives if you want to improve quickly. You ought to attend the lives. That's my suggestion. Excuse me. So we have a few options here. All right, so those are the auxiliary verbs. Again, we're only going to be concerned with the first ones here: have, did, is, and did mainly, and one can. So here we go. Let's go ahead and have a look. Here we go. I'm going to read these and then highlight the what I consider important rules. They're not everything on the right side is important, and I don't want to expect you to read it all. So I'm going to give you the highlights, what I feel is most important. I like cats, but my husband doesn't. Now, this is important in English, and many of you already do this. But what we don't say in English is we don't repeat what the first part of the sentence said. So we don't say in English, I like cats, but my husband doesn't like cats. We don't say that. We don't repeat like cats. We don't repeat that. But my husband doesn't. And then we understand like cats. Sally's coming home tonight, but Angela isn't coming home. But we don't say that. And we don't write it either. So we avoid repeating, here it is, we avoid repeating the main verb. Number 2, right here. I loved his latest film. So did I. Past tense, loved, confirmation, also past tense. With so and neither, we say that something or someone is the same. I loved the film, so did I. I didn't like the film, neither did I. All right. I have finished something. Haven't finished the book yet. Neither have I. I just told you this is a negative now. So when you agree with a negative, you use neither. I don't like winter. I don't mind it, but let's just say I don't like winter. You might say, neither do I. You agree with me in the negative. I've said something negative, not I don't. That's a negative sentence. You agree with that, so you use neither. If I say positive, I do like winter, you can say So do I. Or, me too. Andrew's a doctor. So is his wife. I don't, number 3, let's look at number 3. I don't like shopping. I do. Do you hear the accent? You're stating the opposite. It's to respond differently. I don't like ice cream. And you say, I do. I do like ice cream. I'm disagreeing with 2 words. So practice each of these with a speaking partner. You're going to have to do this systematically. Don't use the examples here unless you're lost or confused. Then use them to begin with, but then use something else. So for example, I gave you an example. I don't like swimming in the ocean. I do. But if you agree with that statement, you'd say, neither do I. All right. Number 4, I went to a psychic yesterday. And you say, did you? This means you're surprised. You're not doubting them. You're not saying, did you lie to me? No, you're just surprised. And so you're just expressing that surprise with an auxiliary question, auxiliary verb question. Did you? Wow. How was it? So we can practice. Use a sentence on your own. I went skydiving yesterday. I did. Did you? Wow. How was it? That's crazy. Let's do this one. I will make dinner tonight. Will you? That's great. Now that's a positive surprise, isn't it? Whenever someone wants to make dinner for you, it's almost always positive, unless that person is me, because I'm not the best cook. So you might want to say, oh, thank you, Professor, but I can manage. Actually, I'm not that bad. Out of practice, let's say. Number 5, you didn't lock the door. I did lock it. So you're showing emphasis in a positive sentence. Number 5, I did lock it. Sylvie isn't coming. She is coming. You're wrong. She is coming. You see that emphasis? All right, you've got some homework right there for you to do and sort of review everything we've done. Now, from there, you have some pronunciation, which you can do all on your own because the audio files are just so very good. I don't think there's any point in me repeating them. All I want to say is, if you struggle with your pronunciation, if you feel like you don't pronounce words correctly, you have to take this section seriously. How do you take it seriously? You listen, you repeat, and if you're in doubt about your pronunciation, record yourself. Record a message, just like a recording. You're going to make another audio recording for me, but record it and listen to your voice and listen to the audio file and compare. Just do it with one. You don't have to do everything. Just do it with one little exercise, one phrase. That's it. And see how fast you improve. Let me tell you, I was a professional musician earlier in my life, and I recorded my voice all the time. I'm sorry, my playing. I played, I recorded, and I listened, and it was painful, but I knew exactly where the problems were and how to fix it. Musicians do this all the time, but I'm suggesting we should do it as well. You will learn a lot faster if you learn to record yourself and listen to your voice. Don't worry, no one likes their own voice. I don't like my own voice. I hope you like my voice, but you don't have to like your voice because this is just how it is, but it helps you improve quicker. So do it. Don't do, even if it hurts, do it. That's called discipline. And when you're disciplined, you learn faster. All right, the pronunciation section is all yours. And we're going to move down now to the listening. The listening is all yours as well. You're going to listen and follow the directions. Again, listening is great. I want to repeat it again. It's a bit of a mantra. A mantra is a saying that you hear, over and over. Let me just write that word down because it's a bit big. Mantra. It's a saying or a truth or an idea that you hear over and over. One of the mantras for this course is the following. If you understand what someone is saying and you're certain you're understanding it, then you're a lot more confident when you're giving an answer. If you're not sure what they said, you do something like this. I remember just the other day, I'm pretty good in Polish, but I was in the train, a guy sat down, said something really fast and really loud, and it was just two of us, and honestly, I was a bit shocked, and I didn't understand what he said, and I can understand almost all Polish. I just went like this, yeah. I was very uncomfortable. If you don't understand or if you're not sure what someone says, you're very uncomfortable. You don't want to talk. And if you do talk, it's not very interesting and it might be wrong. So take the listening seriously. Enjoy it. And if you don't understand what someone's saying, just go right down here and look up what they said and say, oh, okay, then replay it and listen to the passage again. And that's how you learn step by step. Slowly, you start to remove your deficiencies. Deficiencies are your weaknesses. You can look that up. DEFICIENCIES. Wow, that's a long one. All right. Here we go. All right, that's all yours. Now, this grammar and context is also yours because we've got another audio file right down below. But I want to use this as an opportunity to send me a short voice recording. So here's your homework. I want you to send me send me a few sentences practicing this. So here's the setup. The bigger the more. The in a comparative sense. The bigger the animal, the more problems you have. The bigger the class, the more problems the teacher has. You know, if you're a teacher and you have 7 students, this is manageable. If you have 70 students, it's unmanageable. The more students, the more problems you have as a teacher. So think of a few things that are true in your life. And I want to hear them, maybe 3 or 4, using this example. This is a really common example and a very nice way to express yourself in English. Look here, the harder and more resistant the cup is, the stronger your relationship is. That sounds strange. Let me try one. The earlier I sleep, the more energy I have in the morning. This is true. I'm an early bird. I have my best moments intellectually are in the morning. Let's do one that's negative because this is more difficult. The less I sleep, the worse I perform at work the next day. This is probably true for a lot of you. But if you're young, it might not matter. When you get older, sleep matters. So you can do either positive or negative. The less I sleep, the more I sleep, or whatever you do, whatever you want to say. The more I walk, the better I feel. The longer I run, the more my knees hurt. Ow. Whatever you want to say that's true for you, because that way you'll remember it a bit longer. Finally, we have vocabulary compound adjectives, and these are related to people. And you've got some audio files again here. We use these in relation to people, and you're going to talk about these in your speaking groups and during the live with me, because you're going to ask yourself or other people, do you know people who are absent-minded, strong-willed, laid back, etc.? So you're going to learn all of these. Do you know what all these mean? If you don't, here's a chance to learn them because they're very popular in English. Open-minded or closed-minded. Are you an open-minded person or a closed-minded person? I'm going to guess you're open-minded if you took an online English course with a stranger. Most of you didn't know me. Most of you have never met me in person. So I would say you're rather open-minded. at least in this sense. Tight-fisted. Ooh, if you're tight-fisted, it means you hold on to your money very carefully. You don't like to spend money. Well-behaved. In public, you're well-behaved. You mind your manners. Your mother or father they don't have to yell at you. They're not embarrassed. All right. I have a well-balanced diet or lifestyle or daily routine. I do some exercise, some study, some work, meeting with friends. It's a well-balanced life. I hope some of you have that. I'm jealous if you do. We can talk about all of this during our live. It's at this point I'm going to bid farewell and hope that you study well. Keep a very positive attitude. Don't worry about how much you have to do in the lesson. I would just enjoy everything you're learning. If you don't have time to finish everything, don't worry. Go to the next lesson. You can always get it later. But don't fret. Don't get nervous about what you didn't do. Enjoy what you're learning. You learn it you learn a lot more when you have that, and you remember things a lot more. And also, try to repeat the things you don't know, and you'll remember those later. Thank you. Study hard and see you soon. Bye-bye.